Hi, I chose Audrey Niffenegger, the author of The Time Traveler's Wife, for this discussion. I connect with The Time Traveler's Wife because it's a genre blend. It combines, it's a contemporary story about a husband and wife. It's romance, even though the ending isn't necessarily follows a trope, and then it's science fiction as well with the time travel. So it to me is very similar to my novel, The Other Grace. Mine doesn't combine romance elements, but it seems very contemporary except for the twist of the science fiction elements in my novel. So anyhow, I connect with it quite well. So I looked her up. Audrey is actually a visual artist. She went to the School of Art Institute of Chicago and received an MFA from Northwestern. So she's got an MFA. But her first books were artist books and of her prints, paintings, and drawings and comics. And in her bio on her website, she says her first books were printed and bound by hand in editions of 10. But now these aren't novels, these were visual art books. But in 1997, she had an idea for this story and originally imagined making it a graphic novel, but eventually realized that it would be really difficult to represent the sudden time shift with still images. So she began to work on the novel, and she published The Time Traveler's Wife in 2003 with an independent publisher, McAdam Cage. And now my best guess was that as an artist trying her hand at novel writing, she found it easier to get accepted for publication with an independent publisher. And this was before e-readers. Sony brought the first e-reader to the market in 2004. So that meant binding and printing costs for self-publishing would have been an issue. The Time Traveler's Wife, her debut novel, was immensely successful. So her second novel, published in 2009, was Scribner. So, big mainstream publisher there. And her third novel, Raven Girl, was published in 2013. So it was really just her debut novel that she went with the independent publisher. And now, did she have an agent? According to Wikipedia, when she was a first-time novelist, Niffenegger had trouble finding a literary agent. Go figure. And like I say, this is pre-publication of 2003 of her book. So she eventually sent the novel, without an agent representation, to McAdam Cage unsolicited, and she was lucky, and it got published. And how she promoted the book, again, I think there's a little bit of an element. I mean, the book stands for itself. I think it's a wonderful novel, and I think it's amazingly plotted, and the time travel, I just love time travel stories. Now, so I'm not sure how it was promoted with her independent publisher in 2003, but according to Wikipedia, the book became a bestseller after an endorsement from an author and family friend, Scott Turow, on the Today Show. So, I mean, without that endorsement, and then, of course, Oprah, it came under Oprah's radar and got on the, Oprah's book list back in the day. So as of March 2009, it had sold nearly 2.5 million copies in the US and the United Kingdom. And I'm sure we throw in a bunch of sales in Canada there as well. So now she's got a website, and it says you can follow her on Twitter. So as far as I know, because she doesn't have links to a whole bunch of social media sites, it's just Twitter. I myself, I'm not on Twitter, so I couldn't go and see her most recent tweets or anything like that. So, yeah, there you go.